Fails.
I just boomered him again, dude. I just keep boomering. They keep getting stuck because Rochelle won't run, so I'm just like... Hey, what's going on, guys? It's iPvP My Kids IRL here and Sir Chubulus from BGN. We're about to get into the top 5 games of what we recommend in co-op and the top 5 that we don't.
And starting with number 5, we're going to give you The Division 2. I know we're going to catch some slack for this, but hear me out. This game here brings a lot to the table, but doesn't do a whole lot to make it compelling. There's raids, there's PvP, which seems more of an afterthought to just throw it into the game kind of last minute. Hey, there's this zone here that you can go in PvP and loot, but it just doesn't seem compelling. The story isn't anything new, the combat isn't anything new, and so when you think about the genre as a whole, first-person shooter, and in this case a third-person shooter, we just need to see a little bit more for this to garnish more attention. And the looting experience just was not up to par. It wasn't satisfying. And overall, the whole game experience was not rewarding at all. After playing this for 2 to 3 days, I just had to stop and put it down because it just wasn't worth my time anymore investing in this game.
Moving in at number 4, Dead Rising 3 and 4. We came from a game that used to have a very decent story in the first 2 to having a very non-interested story. And you find yourself killing zombies and running out of stuff to do very quickly. You went from having very short windows and time frames to do quests to very large windows and not really a precedent to go out and do the quest. The weapons used to be very interesting in the first couple of games, and you went from having just exosuits at the end, and it's just more reasons you're going to find yourself just killing zombies and not really doing anything else. Not to mention, too, with the PC ports, you're locked at 30 frames. The game went from telling good jokes to now being a joke.
And coming in at number 3, we have Minion Masters. Now, Minion Masters is, on paper, it's a decent game, but when you start actually playing it, you realize that you start to divvy away from what a co-op game is. In a co-op game, you want to come in on a Friday night or a Saturday night with your squad, and you want to be able to just jump right into the game. With this, you're not able to do that. Really, there's some heavy monetization of buying different cards, and in some ways it's very pay to win. So much so that you're going to start running into whales whenever you're going to start climbing ranks. These people that just spend massive amounts of money on the game that just ruin the game experience for everyone that they're in a game with. They will just use all these advanced cards that only they will have access to because they've dropped massive amounts of money on the game. And you're going to find it harder to just sit and relax and just enjoy the game. So that is our reasons why this is not going to be a good game for you to play co-op.
Down to number 2, Dungeon Defenders 2. Pales in comparison to the first one, I might say, and it has very cut and paste features also from the first one. And me personally, I would rather pay up front for Dungeon Defenders 1 rather than having a free-to-play game with more microtransactions. The progression feels all over the place. The maps need to feel a little bit more repetitious. They don't feel as intuitive. They don't feel as rewarding. It needs some better scaling of difficulty. I found myself stuck in lobbies where I was either too difficult and it was kind of all over the place to being way too easy. And the DLCs are nothing more than money grabs. The first one offered a lot more substantial rewarding for the DLC purchases.
And here's the top of the list for games we don't recommend. We have Destiny 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Outriders. That's right. Outriders. The number 1 game we don't recommend here at BGN. It brings absolutely nothing new to this genre of third-person shooter. There are so many other games that have done this before, such as Warframe and Destiny. And with this game just bringing absolutely nothing new to the genre, it's hard to even get excited about a game like this. When it was coming out, we were seeing images of how the UI looked, how guns were displayed, and I immediately thought, this is Destiny, right? No, it's a new game that's coming out. So I was just immediately turned off from the very first looks at this game that we got to see. It's hard not to take into consideration the troubles that they went through to get this game to launch. The developers just did a terrible job, from glitches, from networking issues, to just flat out crashes. And so it's a horrible experience overall, and to add a little bit of icing on the top, this game doesn't even have PvP. I think they came into this genre and they said, you know, we're gonna make the next Monster Hunters of this genre. No, they have fallen flat on their face with this, with games like Destiny that have just done it better. And then even on the heels of Warframe as well. This is just a copy and paste of a game and a genre and a style that has already been done time and time again. This is nothing new, and I would certainly hold on to your money. This game is certainly not worth $60 today.
And coming in at number 5 of the games we'd like to recommend is Payday 2. This game is so much fun to pick up with your friends and play on a Friday night. I cannot stress that enough. You're going to have so many fun experiences. You're going to have serious experiences. There's so many ways to play the map, whether you go in loud, whether you go in quiet, if you're even able to pull that off, if your friend gets caught, if he gets caught a lot. The guns, you can customize them in several different ways. Explosives, you got fully automatic weapons, you've got claymores, you've got different aspects, you've got so many trees you can go into. There's so much content in this game. There's so many heists to do. You can start off with the basic heist and you can go all the way up to the big bank. There's so many ways to play this game. There's so much, and you can even keep going with it. If you want to pick up the next night and go even further and get up to more difficult heists, you can as well. I would highly recommend picking up this game. It's so cheap and there's so much content available for you to go through.
And coming in at number 4 on games that we recommend, it is none other than Monster Hunter World Online. And when it comes to this game, it just has so much content for you to play through. It is unreal with the amount of monsters that are being added, with the amount of monsters that were just in the base game. You're not going to get bored anytime soon, and this is just a perfect game to be picking up on the weekend and just playing with your friends. And so you're just going to find that you're not going to be bored too often, because there's just so many different ways to play the game. In other games where you're just so cookie cutter, this game offers a lot of different ways to play. You can go bow, you can go sword and shield, you can go spear, you can go spear and shield, you can go swords. There are just so many different ways to play and to kill monsters. And here at BGN, we just highly recommend this game for you to play on the weekends.
And for number 3, we have Balloons Tower Defense 6. Now, have you ever had someone stuck at work and you're like, man, we're having game night? Well, look no further. We have Balloons here for you, because he can be at work and he can hop into the exact same co-op game you're in from his mobile device while you're sitting here playing it on Steam at home with the boys. Now, you can also, there's so many towers, there's so many upgrade paths, there's so many ways to play the game, there's so many maps, all of them. You might be thinking, there's 100 rounds, I'm gonna get bored. It's the same 100. Trust me when I say every map feels different. There's so many unique ways to layer out. You might find yourself, man, I can just put a super monkey here. Well, let me tell you what, that doesn't work on every map. So find yourself a good hero to pick from. I would highly recommend ENT. So pick this game up whenever it's on sale and give it a go with your friends.
And at number 2, we have Left 4 Dead 2. Now, when you talk about a co-op game, it is impossible to not touch on this game. And especially with Back 4 Blood just right around the corner, it is the best time to jump back into this game and get a good feel for it. For just $10 on Steam, it just offers the best gameplay. It's rewarding. It is just satisfying whenever you make it to the end of the level. And whether you play as a survivor or whether you play as a specialized zombie, it just gets... The fun in this game is never ending, and you will always come back for more as you just play this game. And Left 4 Dead 2 is just the pinnacle when it comes to zombie games, and so you will always find yourself coming back to this game.
Coming in at number 1, Borderlands 2. Now you might be thinking to yourself, this is coming out whenever the third one's available. Let me tell you the reasons why the second one is the greatest. Unique gameplay and guns. So, some of the most interesting characters in the game with unique skill trees each. There's some of the most endless replayability built into the game. There's some light story with some of the best and most fleshed out side characters you can get. And DLCs are worth the price. I cannot stress that enough with what the third one is doing with 2 season passes. I cannot just pass off the third one as being the best. Whenever you can't stand for this. We as gamers, whenever we see a season pass, we think we're done with the game. But here we are with the third one, and it's giving us 2 season passes. Who wants to spend that much money on a $60 game? the base game needs to reflect what the DLC should be priced, and the second one does that best. So here at BGN, for number 1, Borderlands 2.
And that's going to wrap us up for this video for the best and worst co-op games. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And follow us also on our social medias, Twitter and Instagram. This is Sir Chubulus.
I PvP my kids IRL.
And you guys stay frosty out there.